McAfee Coliseum, Oakland, California, for an AFC West battle between two great rivals, the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. And for the Broncos, they're coming off their most disappointing loss of the season last week against the Chicago Bears. There's a sense of urgency for Denver. Hello, everyone. Bill MACATEE along with Steve BEUERLEIN. We welcome all of you to Oakland, and the Broncos did everything, Steve, they wanted to last week except win the ball game against Chicago.
That's exactly right. They had one of those games where there's no reason why they lost that ball game, but they did, and the Denver Broncos have put themselves in a very bad position. But in their favor, San Diego's not running away with this division. They're still within striking distance.
Broncos are 5-6. They've struggled a little bit on defense, but one bright spot has been the play of the young quarterback, Jay Cutler, in his second year.
Yeah, only making his 17th start today of his young career, but this guy really has impressed Mike Shanahan and really people all over the league with his strong arm and his mentality, his competitiveness. He's doing a great job and really moving in the right direction as far as the Broncos are concerned.
Dante Culpepper is banged up, so the Raiders today will go with Josh McCown.
And this is a great opportunity for Josh McCown to try and take advantage of. He's been bumped up this year, but a great chance to go in and reestablish himself as a starting quarterback going into the final part of the season.
And we might get our first look at Jamarcus Russell. His first action in the National Football League could come today.
And Lane Kiffin, the head coach, did tell us, he said if the situation is right, ideally they'd love to get Jamarcus Russell in for a series or two. This guy's big, he's young, he's strong, and everybody in this stadium is excited about seeing him play possibly today.
Lane Kiffin, his second game in this heated rivalry, broke the streak last week in Kansas City. The Raiders' first win in 17 games against an AFC West opponent. He'd like to make it 2 straight today. Mike Shanahan keeping an eye on the wild card situation. He's had the Raiders' number over the years, a 20-5 record against Oakland in his career. Todd Sauerbrunn, the punter who handles the kickoff duties for Denver. Raiders won the toss. Chris Carr is back deep for Oakland. A little bit of a gusting breeze today. The Broncos will be kicking with the wind. The 95th regular season meeting in this great rivalry, and we are underway here in Oakland. 5 yards deep in the end zone, and he won't bring it out. Josh McCown gets his 6th start of the season. He's been banged up. This week he dislocated a finger on his non-throwing hand just playing catch. The Raiders have been running the ball effectively behind that offensive line. Paul McQuiston making his 2nd start at right tackle. The backs and receivers. Justin Fargas has stepped up, averaging almost 100 yards a game as the starter. Opening possession for the Oakland Raiders just underway here in Oakland. McCown off the play action. Out into the flat. That's Justin Griffith, the fullback. And he's out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos 25th overall defensively. Elvis Dumerville is having an outstanding 2nd year in the league. The linebackers, DJ Williams has moved to middle linebacker after starting on the outside the last 2 seasons. And of course, 2 of the best at the corners, Champ Bailey and Dre Bly. 2nd down for Oakland, just short of the 26-yard line. Fargas turns the corner, has a seam, and Fargas is out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. A nice pickup for Oakland.
And
Nate
what a great
Webster made the stop. Sorry, Steve.
I'm sorry, Bill. What a great story this guy Justin Fargas has been for the Raiders. His first real chance to be the starting running back, and man, as he cashed in on this, coming off his 3rd 100-yard game of the year right there, showing his speed to the outside. And Coach Lane Kiffin told us he is a guy that practices during the week every bit as hard as he plays during the game, and it's paying off for him.
First down for Oakland. Quick hitch. Porter. And he gets it out to the 47-yard line. And let's take a look at Josh McCown. We talked about him dislocating a finger, and that's what he's going to be playing with today, but again, on his non-throwing hand.
Yeah, it'd be hard to deal with that on the throwing hand.
Trying to throw a football.
The throwing hand might be an issue there, but it's his left hand, and as long as he doesn't get it jammed badly today, he should be able to hold up fine.
2nd and 6. Fargas cuts it back inside, and it's just short of midfield. Justin Fargas, 139 yards and a touchdown on 22 carries last week against the Chiefs. He's averaging 96 yards a game in the 4 games since he replaced Lamont Jordan as the starter.
And Lamont Jordan, Bill, obviously not too excited about that, but the bottom line is that Justin Fargas has really taken advantage of his opportunity. And he is a guy, he's out there right now in 3rd down. He's an all-purpose, any type of situation guy on the field for the Oakland Raiders.
3rd and 3. Tim Dwight has checked in for Oakland from the shotgun. Plenty of time on the out route and incomplete. It was intended for Ronald Curry.
And that was really a good job. You'll see number 21, Abdullah, Harnza Abdullah right there. He makes a good read on Josh McCown. Saw his eyes going that way, and I'll tell you what, there was an open receiver up the field there, but Abdullah did a great job of reading where Josh McCown was going to go with that football closed and made a great play on the ball.
So the opening drive fizzles for the Raiders. Shane Leckler. Jay Bly makes the fair catch at the 8-yard line, and we have a flag on the play, so let's check the penalty. That was a 41-yard punt. And this could be roughing the punter.
And whether it's the 5-yard variation or the 15-yard variation, it's going to be a first down for the Raiders.
Gene Steratore is our referee today.
Running into the kicker, number 37 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Cecil Sapp, and that will extend the Oakland drive.
And you'll see Cecil Sapp, number 37, not intentional, just came in a little bit out of control, and it it almost was kind of blocked into it, but what minimal contact there. I have to wonder about whether it was a legitimate running into the kicker there, but the bottom line is the flag was thrown, and the 5 yards gives the Raiders a new set of downs at the 45-yard line.
In Denver territory. First down, Fargas, and that time the Broncos were swarming. DJ Williams was there to meet him at the line of scrimmage.
And what can you say about this kid, though, Justin Fargas? We've made it clear how he's made a statement for himself as the running back for these Oakland Raiders. The numbers speak for themselves. 6.3 yards a carry. It's been really one of the few bright spots this Raiders organization has had all year, is the consistent play of him at the tailback position.
You talk to people about him, they say he runs with a sense of purpose, a sense of violence. They give it to Curry in some space, and he has a pickup of about 8. Down inside the 40, close to the 37-yard line.
And Bill, you see the Raiders, they've been running the ball really hard to the left side. Well, what do right here? They make the good hard play fake to the left side, and they come back with the boot. Josh McCown does what any smart quarterback will do, get it to the wide open guy. Even though he's only 2 or 3 yards in front of you, he knows how to run with the ball a little better than you, and let Ronald Curry see what he can pick up. He picks up a nice 7-yard gain there.
3rd and 3 for Oakland. Johnny Lee Higgins, the rookie out of UTEP, has checked into the game. It's Miller, the tight end, in motion. Extra protection. They give it on the delay to Fargas. A first down for Oakland. Tim Crowder made the tackle, but not after an Oakland first down.
Well, you know, the Raiders are a team that really has struggled in so many ways this year, but coming off that big win in Kansas City, the way they did it, I was talking to Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator, beforehand, to finally finish off a game like they did last week really has given this team a confidence that they haven't had in a long time.
And they have not scored a touchdown on their opening drive all season long. First set of downs from the 32. Fargas right side. Good hard run. Close to the 25-yard line, down to the 26. John Lynch made the stop, the 8-time Pro Bowler.
6 yards on that carry.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's got to be really excited about how the Raiders have come off. Really seem to be focused and into this game right from the get-go. You know, a 3-8 team, you wonder how they're going to come out and play a lot of times. But this rivalry with the Denver Broncos has really got this Raider team fired up, and they're ready to play football, it looks like, today.
10th play of the drive upcoming. Fargas again And this has been almost all on the shoulders of Justin Fargas.
Well, the Raider running game has been very consistent this year. And what also has been consistent from the Broncos standpoint is the fact they are not a very good run defense either. And the Raiders have come out and really tried to exploit that. Now, the Broncos told us that they have gone to an 8-man front to try and shut down the run. They've done better numbers-wise, but today it seems like the Raiders really are winning that battle up front.
First down. Fargas powers his way down inside the 15. Josh Millard made the tackle.
And Bill, you can see, I mean, every time that ball is snapped, a lot of times in the NFL, you'll see penetration because these defenders are so quick and so explosive. They get up on the snap, they're going to get in the backfield, but there has not been, with the exception of one play, a white jersey in the backfield against this Raider team so far today.
7 carries for 43 yards for Fargas. Slips trying to cut back inside for no gain. The Raiders are a run-first offense. Almost everything they try to do is predicated on getting the ground game going to set up the rest of their offense.
And the focus for the Denver Broncos, as we said before, is to shut down the run game, which is such a pain this year early in the season. You look before their bye week, they were giving up almost 190 yards a game. Since then, 75 yards better since they've committed that 8th man to the box. Go up right now, you see coming in with that 8th man to give them the numbers against the Raiders.
Lamont Jordan is in the game. For Dwight in the end zone, touchdown, and a flag. And it's going to be pass interference against Denver. A perfectly thrown ball from Josh McCown.
Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Mike Shanahan not too happy with that, and super job by Josh McCown. We talked about that 8th man coming up in the box to stop the run. Well, what that does on the outside, Bill, is it gives man-to-man coverage, one-on-one coverage. Josh McCown knew exactly what he was going to do with that football, like the matchup of Tim Dwight over there, to a perfect ball in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown.
Janikowski on to try the extra point. It's good, and a great start for the Oakland Raiders. Aided by a roughing the punter penalty, 15-yard touchdown pass to Tim Dwight. It's 7-0 Oakland. Catch of the year for Tim Dwight, a 13-play drive aided by the running into the punter penalty. So 8:07 left to go in the first. It's 7-0 Oakland.
You said his 2nd touchdown, Bill, but only his 5th catch of the year. So not what you call a go-to guy, but a great play right there.
Kicking into the wind, and Selvin Young takes it. Slips down at the 16-yard line. Good coverage by Oakland. Johnny Lee Higgins, the wide receiver, the rookie, made the tackle. With the Raiders and hasn't lost here in Oakland since 2002. Numbers for Cutler, he's been very impressive, opening possession for Denver. Play action, pressure, a loss of a yard. And a look at this Denver offense. Jay Cutler, his 17th start, coming off his 2nd career 300-yard game last week against the Bears. He'll work behind that offensive line, banged up early, but starting to find some continuity. Selvin Young ran well in practice. He's back this week. We'll also see Travis Henry. Second down. Right side, nothing. Jay Richardson made the stop. And defensively for the Raiders, they want to try and focus on stopping big plays in the running game. They gave up 150 yards to Kobe Smith of the Chiefs last week. A couple of good young linebackers in Kirk Morrison and Thomas Howard. And in the secondary, Nnamdi Asomugha has become one of the top shutdown corners in the league. Hiram Eugene will split time at free safety with Stuart Swigert. 3rd and long. Javon Walker has checked in for Denver. Cutler under pressure, gets rid of it. Brandon Marshall. Marshall still on his feet, and a big gain for Denver. all the way to midfield, and it looked like they had them stopped short of the first down. Morrison finally made the tackle, but Brandon Marshall leads all receivers in the league in yards after contact with 163, and he picked up about 30 more right there.
Well, this combination of Cutler to Marshall, these are both second-year guys, but you see the physical abilities of this kid, Brandon Marshall. He is absolutely amazing. Look at the shot that Jay Cutler takes, so getting rid of this ball. Boom! Right in the chest, but the helmet comes off. Surprised his head didn't come off with it, but a tremendous throw, and Brandon Marshall finishing it up with a big play. Denver fans get used to seeing a lot of this.
No gain. Again, he tried to hit Cecil Sapp coming out of the backfield.
Very well-known first 15 script. You can take control of the game. That's where the Broncos try to really establish tempo. He's got to be disappointed what happened on that third down play.
That's a nice move by Selvin Young, and he's close to another first down. Eugene and Robert Thomas, the outside linebacker, finally made the stop. Selvin Young, the rookie free agent out of Texas, back after missing last week with a knee injury.
That was an interesting play there, Bill. They ran a counter action with the back Selvin Young, but usually when you have a counter action like that, you've got offensive linemen running out there in front of him, but all the linemen still blocked as if the play was going to the right side where the counter action was, and Selvin Young had a lot of open field between he and the first defender out there.
Going to be just short, and going to the sideline.
Back is to not throw the ball his way because you respect him so much, and that's what's happened with Nnamdi Asomugha. 21 balls in 11 games. That's pretty impressive.
So Fabian Washington has checked in. Third and short for Denver, their first possession. Pitch back, Young. First down and plenty more, out of bounds at about the 30. Shanahan told us that Selvin had a good week at practice, and he's reasonably healthy. He said his knee's not 100%, but he's good enough to go, and we've seen some nice burst here in the early going.
Well, you saw a great block by the left tackle, Matt Lepsis, right there. The Denver Broncos, well documented. You're going to see, there's Matt Lepsis right there at the top of your screen. The Denver Broncos, well documented. They have the big, mobile, athletic offensive lineman. That was a good illustration right there.
Broncos trying to match the Raiders' opening drive. Nice cutback and another big gain on the ground. Robert Thomas finally made the tackle on Selvin Young.
Now you're going to really get to see all the things that Mike Shanahan wants to see on that first drive.
Travis Henry has checked in, and Henry will get the ball and a first down. Down inside the 20-yard line. Rushed for 128 yards on 26 carries against the Raiders in week 2.
That's all he can really expect, and a good start by Selvin Young probably allows that to stay true.
Again on the ground. A little cutback move from Henry. Thomas Howard made the stop in his second year out of the University of Texas at El Paso, the second-round pick, 2006.
And this is an area, now we're in the red zone, Bill, and as you know, the Broncos have struggled this year in the red zone. They're about 20th in the league, only scoring touchdowns 48.5% of the time. And that's an area Mike Shanahan really is, he takes a lot of pride. He's a guru in a lot of different ways as far as offensive football, but the red zone is an area that he really does stand out normally. Been a frustrating proposition this year for him.
Cutler, short drop, the slant to Marshall, and he couldn't bring it in. That'll bring up third down.
Well, that wasn't so much Fabian Washington, number 27, making the play. This is the ball that Brandon Marshall should have caught. Look at this, the ball's right there in his hands. The ball was not knocked out. It was right on the money, right on time by Jay Cutler. And Fabian Washington might get credit for a pass broken up, but that was a true drop in every sense of the word by Brandon Marshall.
So the Raiders will try to make an early stand here. Up 7-0. They scored on their opening possession. Cutler steps up, dumps it off. Young, and that's going to be a first down. It'll be first and goal for Denver.
Great patience by Jay Cutler. Watch him stand in the pocket there. No overreaction, just sitting there waiting for Selvin Young to do his little thing, run his little route, and he did a super job with his eyes looking up the field to try and pull the defenders away from where he was going to go to Selvin Young, and then delivered a nice catchable ball. But that's not a good sign for Selvin Young going down right there. That's the one thing Mike Shanahan did not want.
They're already fairly thin at running back. Timeout.
And the Broncos have answered the Raiders' 13-play drive with an 11-play drive of their own. Pretty impressive stats on both sides. Can't get much more even than that.
Take the reverse. They run it inside. Still churning down to the 4-yard line. Travis Henry, after the knee injury, he said that he thought he was going to get somewhere around 15 carries. And he said, you know, the one thing that I'm missing right now is my burst. I just don't have that normal burst, that extra gear that I can go to.
Yeah, you know, he tore that PCL ligament, posterior collateral ligament, and that's not something that usually requires surgery, but it does require a full 4 to 6 weeks to really get 100% healthy. And he's right at 4 weeks right now. He told us yesterday he's not 100%, but he's more than healthy enough to contribute.
Now here's the jumbo package. 2nd and goal. Henry left side, touchdown. Touchdown, Travis Henry. His 2nd of the season.
And Rob Ryan not excited at all about that. You know, they thought they had a great start to this drive, and once the Denver Broncos picked up that big 3rd down from Cutler to Brandon Marshall, it was all rolling from there for the Denver Broncos. Really an impressive drive once they got that 1st down conversion there. Mike Shanahan very happy with the situation. Rob Ryan not making the statement he wanted to make on that 1st drive.
Jason Elam for the extra point. That's good. And 46 seconds left in the opening period. We're all tied up at 7 here in Oakland. For their touchdown, each team had 8 running plays and 5 pass plays. Scoring their touchdown.
Pretty impressive opening drives both ways.
Todd Sauerbrunn ready to kick it off.
That's better.
Each team has had the ball once. And again, with the wind, 5 yards deep in the end zone. So the Raiders will start from their own 20-yard line when we return. Only the 2nd possession of the game for Oakland. From their own 20. Right back to the ground. And that time, the reception committee waiting. That was good for 2 from Justin Fargas.
Really heavy run to the left side of this Oakland Raider offensive line behind Barry Sims, Robert Gallery, and then bringing the tight end over, Zach Miller. Good run blocking tight end. They really feel it looks like they can find and exploit the weakness on the left side, the defensive right side of the Denver Broncos front.
2nd down. Fargas. And again, nothing doing. He'll lose a couple of yards back to the original line of scrimmage. And that will be the final play of the 1st quarter. So after 1, we're tied at 7 here in Oakland. The Broncos and the Raiders, one of the great rivalries in the National Football League. So 3rd and long for the Raiders, only their 2nd possession of the game. And here come the Broncos. McCown finally gets rid of it. And that may have been a coverage sack because he had all kinds of time and no one was open.
Well, I don't know if it was a coverage sack or not, but you can see the Raiders are coming with blitz from everybody. Abdullah, number 21, coming from the deep safety position. Josh McCown had plenty of time to see all of that and had to know he was one-on-one on the outsides. Really feel like he could have found someone on the outside to throw that ball to instead of holding it for so long.
Shane Leckler, his first official punt. The last one didn't count. Bly standing back and retreats back to his own 18-yard line. Makes a couple of nifty little moves and gets it out to the 28. Stuart Schwaggart made the stop. A 63-yard punt. Game now for the Broncos. Nnamdi Asomugha has checked back in. That's good news for the Raiders. Right side, Travis Henry. We get word that Selvin Young from the sideline is okay, so we'll probably see him, the free agent rookie out of Texas, back in the game. There's Nnamdi Asomugha. 2nd and 9 for Denver. Play action up the sidelines. And that was intended for Tony Scheffler, the tight end, and Michael Huff had the coverage, the strong safety out of Texas.
Well, you're going to see right here, watch the fullback right here come out in the flat. Cecil said he's pretty much uncovered. It's a 2nd down situation. I think Jay Cutler, you see how wide open he is sitting down there in the bottom, and he's got a one-on-one matchup up the field with Tony Scheffler, but not really a great matchup. Your big tight end was not behind anybody. I think maybe looking back at it in a 2nd down situation, you take that wide open guy in the fullback and see what he can do.
Remember, Scheffler had that remarkable catch for a touchdown last week against the Bears. Selvin Young is checked back in now for Denver. 3rd and long. Cutler guns it, incomplete. Brandon Stokely was the intended receiver, but he couldn't bring it in.
So both teams, after 13 play drives to start the game, mirror each other again with 3 and outs. Seems like maybe these guys are going to try and match each other tit for tat all day long.
Tim Dwight is standing back on his own 30-yard line. You hear that murmur in the crowd, and that's because it looks like Jamarcus Russell is getting ready to come in the game. This next possession for the Raiders. Dwight bobbles the ball, and the Raiders fall on it. And for the first time, Jamarcus Russell will take the field in an NFL game. We're back in Oakland, and the future has arrived at quarterback. The beginning of the Jamarcus Russell era. 1st down. Little bootleg to the sidelines. And they call it a catch. Jerry Porter able to bring it in.
Well, get used to this. This big guy is pretty impressive to watch. And Lane Kiffin told us that if he had been at training camp, he might very well be their starting quarterback at this point, but he missed all of training camp. But you're going to see an arm out of this guy, unlike an arm you've seen ever. I don't think there's anybody I can think of that can throw the football like this kid can throw the football.
And that was good for 16 yards. Vargas gets back inside and gets it close to the 36-yard line. Jamarcus Russell, the first pick overall in the NFL draft, 2nd all-time in touchdown passes at LSU. 52, 2nd best completion percentage in LSU history, almost 62%. 25-4 as a starter. And his overwhelming performance in the Sugar Bowl against a team that shall not be named was just off the charts. And the Raiders made him the first pick overall. Flag on the play, incomplete. The pass was intended for John Madsen, the tight end.
Jamarcus Russell's pass intended for number 85, John Madsen.
Bill, we'll see what the penalty is here, but the comment that I made about you've never seen a guy throw the ball like Jamarcus Russell will.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 36. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
So it's still 3rd down for the Raiders, but that still doesn't mean that Jamarcus Russell is going to be the greatest quarterback ever. He's got a little bit of work to do before that happens, but 6'6", 255 pounds. This guy, you just don't see quarterbacks that with that kind of size, that kind of strength. And he also moves pretty well as well, but now it just remains to be seen how well or how quickly he'll pick things up and be able to be a productive NFL quarterback.
And Kiffin watching closely. He's been very careful with Jamarcus Russell. The screen. Vargas close to midfield. The Raider first down. DJ Williams finally made the stop.
And what kind of an advantage is it to be 6'6", 255 pounds? You saw how easily he was able to lay that ball right up over the top of his lineman. Watch how he just kind of flips it up over the top, nice and easy. I know as a quarterback, former quarterback, I was just under, just over 6'2". To get it up and over and around those linemen is not easy. I always wish I had about 6 or 7 more inches to get it up over them.
Little thumbs up from Jamarcus. That was good for 13 yards. Again on the ground, Vargas with a big hole. Vargas. Another terrific run. Champ Bailey finally made the tackle.
Well, all of Raider Nation very excited right now. It seems like his teammates as well to have Jamarcus Russell out there and calling the shots. Boy, they're making it look so easy right now. And Justin Vargas, you can see him just spinning and scratching and clawing his way for every yard that's out there. They've got the momentum going again their way.
64 yards for Vargas from the 32. Russell on the bootleg, and they close a lot faster in the NFL than they do in college.
Yes, they do. No doubt about that. And you're going to see this is a broken play. You'll see Lamont Jordan, number 34, going to his left. Watch after the he's like, oh, whoa, I want that ball. But Jamarcus Russell had enough presence to pull that ball back in and eliminate at least what could have been a terrible play and make it just a no-gain play.
Hamza Abdullah brought him down. So it's like a bit of a miscommunication that time. Second down, 2nd and 10. Just under 11 minutes remaining in the half. Quick pass, batted away and incomplete. Ronald Curry was the intended receiver.
Jamarcus Russell's pass intended for Ronald Curry. Was tipped by number 92.
Well, that pass was tipped by one of the most impressive young defensive ends in the NFL, Elvis Dumerville, right there, number 92, and we'll be calling his name a lot today, Bill. You know, he's only about 5'11", weighs about 260 pounds, but Mike Shanahan told us he's got the arms of a 6'7" individual, and that was what allowed him to get up there and block that pass from the 6'6" Jamarcus Russell.
3rd and long for Russell and the Raiders. Snap is bobbled, and Russell just falls on it. So after a hot start, a fizzling conclusion to the opening possession for Jamarcus Russell.
And that snap was way off to his right, but these are things that you're gonna expect to see with a young quarterback. Even though that right there was not his fault, there are going to be broken plays, there are going to be bad reads, there are going to be times and moments of confusion, but what you look for are the bright spots and the things to build on, and Jamarcus Russell showed a couple of things in that drive right there that people will be very excited about.
And now Sebastian Janikowski will try a 58-yard field goal with the win.
Yep.
He had a 54-yarder against the Chiefs last week. Line drive, and that is no good.
And he looks like he's hurt.
And he comes away limping, Sebastian Janikowski. So we remain tied at 7 here in Oakland. We're tied at 7. Good field position to start for the Denver Broncos.
And the chess match continues between Mike Shanahan and Rob Ryan. Well into the game now, 16 plays, but they're still in the script, believe it or not, and still trying to figure each other out.
Selvin Young trying to battle his way back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose 1.
And Bill, you know, we talk about this, the 15-play script. That's only 15. When they say that script, they're talking about 15 normal down and distance plays that are drawn up to start the game. Not third down, not red zone. It's a situation where Mike Shanahan is trying to show different personnel groupings, different formations to try and see how Rob Ryan and the Raider defense are going to counteract that. And it's a total feeling it out kind of situation that's still going on right now. And really, there is a science to it. It was a lot of fun learning from Mike Shanahan as a player for him.
2nd and 11. Young tries to churn his way for a few extra yards and gets the ball into Oakland territory.
Denver's really struggled this year, third down conversions.
They were only 1 of 12 last week against Chicago. Cutler, incomplete. Gunned it into traffic. So the Broncos will have to punt. Denver unable to take advantage of that good field position. Todd Sauerbrunn, the 3-time Pro Bowler. This game really features two of the NFL's best all-time punters in Sauerbrunn and Shane Leckler of the Raiders. Tim Dwight standing back at his own 8-yard line.
Sauerbrunn had what would be considered a forgettable game last week, of course, against Chicago.
Line drive, Dwight fields it. This is a nice return out to the 31, the 32-yard line. Mike Leach made the tackle. 8:14 left to play in the half. Opening possessions, but nothing since. The big story, Jamarcus Russell seeing his first NFL action. Completed his first pass on first down. Short pass to Curry, and Curry gets it out close to the 39-yard line. Pickup of 7. Well, Jamarcus Russell, and we talked about how Lane Kiffin, Steve, has been very careful with his young quarterback. What are the things that he's going to try to do today with Jamarcus Russell?
Well, I think most importantly, you want to ensure that he's successful. So you try and keep things simple. Don't give him too much to get overwhelmed with and thinking about. You want to make sure that, as we watch Justin Fargas, another good, strong run off the left side. And that's where they've had their success today. Again, they've run very well to the left side of the Oakland Raiders offense. But for Jamarcus Russell, you really want to make sure that he doesn't have too much going on inside his head. He's already got the excitement, the energy, the enthusiasm of his first NFL action, but you give him things that really are very clear for him. You don't have to make him make decisions based on coverage. It's more progression, which means they say if this guy's open, you go to him first, then the next guy, then the next guy. You don't let him read too much into things.
And he's got that solid Raider running game to work with. Incomplete. Let's take a look at Jamarcus Russell and his first series.
Yeah, some good.
The first play.
Yeah, the first play looked like a world beater with a rocket shot out to Jerry Porter, but then you got the bobbled exchange with Lamont Jordan and then the fumbled snap. And again, these are things that you almost expect to see out of a young quarterback in his first action, but you also would expect to see a lot of great things out of a quarterback as talented as Jamarcus Russell. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Russell with time to the sidelines. The defender had fallen down. That's Curry. And a big gain for the Raiders. Champ Bailey had slipped. Now, Bill, I think you could have completed this pass, because you'll see how open Ronald Curry is. The defender slipped, but I don't know if it would have looked as beautiful as Jamarcus Russell's. This ball is a strike on the money, right on stride, and you saw it was a very, very easy throw because the defender did slip.
That was good for 20 yards, and it was Dre Bly who had the coverage and slipped down. First down, Fargas spinning his way for an extra yard or two. Nate Webster made the tackle. Strong side linebacker in his 8th year out of Miami.
One thing that's Denver defense, though, has done very well against the Raiders in the past, of the last 14 quarters, now 15 quarters, the Raiders had not scored in 10 prior to this game, 10 of the previous 14 quarters. Now, of course, scoring on their first drive of the game ends that streak, but they've really done a good job keeping the Raiders off the scoreboard.
Curry, the motion man. Here come the Broncos. Russell going to take off and takes it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Jamarcus Russell.
And you're going to see some good mobility. Now, he's not a sprinter. Don't get me wrong here. This guy's not a guy that's going to take it and run like a lot like a Dante Culpepper used to do on the quarterbacks on the Raiders as well, but he is very mobile for a guy his size, and he will tuck it and run. And I guarantee at 6'6", 250 pounds, he's going to do his share of running over some people.
Good heady play from the rookie. So on third down, then the Broncos showing blitz. And we have a whistle before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Call that on Ronald Curry. So they'll move it back 5 yards. What would you put? We've heard about the limited playbook for a rookie quarterback. What do you put in that playbook?
Well, you've seen a couple bootlegs where the quarterback fakes the hard run action and gets the defense kind of flow into the run, and then come out and he's got the guys right in front of him, either a fullback or a tight end in the flat and a receiver right down the field. You run screen passes, which they've done, maybe a draw play right here or a play action to be safe and block it up for him.
They'll run it. Fargas with some room, lowers his shoulder, and is going to be about a yard short of the first down. Elvis Dumerville, the right defensive end, made the stop. The crowd wants the Raiders to go for it. Janikowski ran onto the field, but Lane Kiffin is going to go for it apparently on 4th and 1.
Well, why not? I mean, you got your 3 and 8. You've got 4th and 1. You got the crowd already into this game. You're playing your arch rivals in the Denver Broncos. Go for it. Give somebody a chance to make a play.
High formation. Madsen in motion. Tight end. Left side. Fargas. He's going to be short. Nice stand by the Broncos.
What a tremendous play by the Denver Broncos. It was almost as if they've been setting them up, letting them run off that left side. That time, no way, Webster says, not today, baby.
So it will go over on downs. When we come back, the Broncos will have the football. 3:52 left in the half. 13 plays, 83 yards in their next 2 possessions. 6 plays, a total of only 3 yards. From their own 25-yard line, Cutler. Marshall still on his feet. Such a big, strong presence at wide receiver. 6'4", 230. Brandon Marshall, another nice pickup. Let's take a look at that 4th down play once again.
Well, you're going to see Nate Webster. He's right in the middle of your picture. He's going to be flowing to the right with the play, with the run action. You're going to see Orrin O'Neal, number 46 for the Raiders, coming to block him, but he slips the tackle, keeps all of his momentum going forward, loses his helmet, and still finishes off the play. A tremendous individual effort by Nate Webster.
2nd and short. Henry loses the football, and there's a scramble for it. Raiders say they have it.
Well, it sure looked like the Broncos recovered it, but the Raiders are pretty excited in there.
And it is Oakland's football. Tyler Brayton recovered it for the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders and the Broncos coming into this game were 2 of 3 teams, Seattle being the other, who have had turnovers in 19 consecutive games. Travis Henry, unfortunately, makes it 20 for the Denver Broncos today. And you see that ball, great strip right there by Oakland, and pulling that thing out of there. That was Robert Thomas, the linebacker, just doing nothing but trying to rip that ball out of there. Did a great job.
And Josh McCown is back in the game at quarterback for Oakland. Off the play action, plenty of time, checks it down to Fargas, who's brought down immediately at the 29-yard line.
Justin Fargas on the reception.
And the fans, of course, excited to see more of Jamarcus Russell, but Lane Kiffin, he wants to win this ball game. And believe it or not, I talked to some people on the Raiders sideline. They are still of the belief that if they get hot here, they can find a way back into this AFC West division race with the fact that the leaders are only 4 games ahead of them.
And then with a record of 3 and 8, McCown rolling out. All kinds of time. That is caught. And the forward progress Good enough for a first down.
From Josh McCown.
Porter made the grab. There are the standings in the AFC West. San Diego won today. Kansas City losing, so the Chiefs fall back to 4-8. But Denver trying to keep pace as we have reached the 2-minute warning here in Oakland.
2-minute warning.
We are tied at 7, but the Raiders are threatening after the turnover. Raiders have all of their timeouts remaining. 1st and 10 from the Denver 21. Fargas, a little hesitation, gets it down to the 18-yard line. Justin Fargas, who's had an outstanding first half, already with 84 yards.
And Justin Fargas told us that he really enjoys, you see the red zone numbers. Both these teams kind of average. The Raiders offensively right around the middle of the league, 15th, 52% of the time, and the Broncos 15th on defense in the red zone. But Justin Fargas said he actually enjoys being a little beat up after these games.
He's been waiting patiently in his 5th year out of USC. The count off the play action to Griffith, the fullback. And he's about a yard short of another Raider first down. Ball continues to run.
See Travis Henry, who was the one that gave the ball up deep in his own territory to the Raiders, and Josh McCown trying to capitalize. Absolutely made the right decision taking that short ball in the flat, trying to get his team in a desirable.
A 30-second timeout.
So timeout on the field, 56 seconds left in the half. 3rd and 2. Look at the numbers from this quarter. It's been dominated by the Raiders. McCown on the bootleg, guns it to the end zone, touchdown. That's the rookie Zach Miller.
Tremendous job on the boot fake, hard run action to the left side there, and Josh McCown, knowing he's got time, buying a little bit extra, setting up in the pocket, and then Zach Miller, super job coming across the end zone, and a strike from Josh McCown for the big touchdown.
2nd touchdown of his NFL career for Miller. Janikowski's extra point is good, and with 50 seconds remaining in the half, the Raiders regain the lead, 14-7. His 2nd touchdown reception. Scoring drive, of course, set up by the Travis Henry fumble. 5 plays, 35 yards.
Josh McCown, 8 of 10 completions on the day for 2 touchdowns. Very solid afternoon, or first half at least, for Josh McCown.
Finally scooped up. That was not a well-played kick. Cecil Sapp able to bundle it in, but the Raiders were downfield in a hurry. So they will start at their own 15-yard line with 44 seconds. From the shotgun, there's 44 seconds to work with. They'll keep it on the ground. A little delay to Selvin Young. Young is stopped after a pickup of maybe 1 by Kirk Morrison.
First charge timeout. Oakland, a 30-second timeout.
You're familiar with both of these teams because you played for the Raiders and you also played for the Denver Broncos.
I did.
And so I know it's a very tough situation for you up here.
Not really.
There you go. Man with tremendous presence back in the pocket.
Oh, yes. Marcus Allen there. Played with a lot of great teammates. Watch this one, boy. You can't coach this kind of stuff, Billy Mack, I'm telling you.
Oh, you sure you can.
Taking it to the house.
Showing an amazing burst. That 6-second, 40-yard dash. Cutler on the slant. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. That's Javon Walker. Played sparingly last week against the Bears after missing 7 weeks with the knee injury.
Getting down there and catching up with these guys and having some laughs, but Yeah, good times for sure.
So 31 seconds left in the half. Oakland might get another chance. Cutler dives forward for a first down.
And that's all Mike Shanahan wanted right there. He wasn't trying to score points. He's just trying to get a first down so they don't have to kick the ball back to the Raiders.
Timeout, Denver.
And as I say that, Mike Shanahan takes a timeout. Maybe he is thinking he can get into some kind of scoring range here. Doesn't surprise me. He is one of the most aggressive mentality-wise.
50-yarder this season, hasn't missed inside of 40 yards, 6 of 10 at 40+. So Cutler, incomplete. A little bit of a mix-up there with his receiver. Derek Burgess had some pressure. Draft, Jamarcus Russell. Raiders have run the ball very effectively against the Broncos. Their 14-7 lead. They dump it off to Selvin Young. And Young gets it out to the 32-yard line, brought down by Warren Sapp, the 7-time Pro Bowler. And that will be the last play of the half. So that's the end of the first half with our score: Oakland 14, Denver 7. We'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Oakland, we welcome you back to the Bay Area. Bill MACATEE and Steve BEUERLEIN. And Steve, a very nice first half for the Raiders, clean on both sides of the football.
Oh, the Raiders got a lot of things accomplished in that first half. They got not only in the end zone 2 times, but they were able to establish control of this ball game, get their young first-round draft choice Jamarcus Russell into the game early, really got some effective plays for him, and I think there's no reason why they wouldn't be very happy with where they're at right now in this ball game.
A lot accomplished. Let's take a look at the first half numbers. The Raiders, in addition, no sacks allowed, no turnovers, 12 first downs, only 1 penalty.
They got the check mark in every single category so far in this game. You look across the board, they really have just dominated both sides of the ball. Rob Ryan, I think, right now doing a great job. After the first drive, the Broncos came out where they came out, moved it up and down right down the field and scored a touchdown. The Oakland defense has done a pretty darn good job of controlling the tempo of this game. Now, they've had the ball a couple more times, and also the fumble by Travis Henry had never allowed the Broncos to get into their flow a few times, but really a good job, a good first half by the Oakland Raiders at this point.
Russell, you saw the numbers, 4 of 7 for 56 yards in his NFL debut. Jacobs bobbled the kick, able to get it right back and brings it out close to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Broncos will start the second half. Jay Cutler very quiet in that first half.
And on this drive.
From the 23, Cutler, the comeback to Marshall. Marshall, such a big, powerful guy, reverses field, has some room, but then brought down after a pickup of 2 or 3. Nnamdi Asamoah made the stop.
That might very well be the most impressive 3-yard gain I've ever seen in my life. Watch this. This is what it's called a jailbreak screen. You can see the offensive lineman, right tackle Eric Pears, was coming out there to block for Brandon Marshall, but did not get out there quick enough, and just the sheer athletic ability and the strength of Brandon Marshall allowed him to break the tackle and reverse field and pick up a couple of positive yards.
2nd and 8. Cutler, plenty of time, guns it, and incomplete. Brandon Stokely couldn't haul it in front of Michael Huff. Now, we talked about the sense of urgency for Denver trying to keep pace in the AFC West. Here's the wild card picture. San Diego a winner earlier today against Kansas City. So the Broncos in danger of falling 2 games behind.
And if the Broncos win, though, they do jump ahead of Buffalo by virtue of their victory earlier this year. But the bottom line is they need to win this game, period.
3rd and long. And there's a flag. It's going to be a procedure penalty. Somebody moved early for Denver.
He went over 100 yards in each of their first 2 games, then hurt his knee, and they've really been lacking that punch from the third wide receiver position.
Until last week, he had not played since week 3 against Jacksonville. So on 3rd and a bunch, intercepted! Thomas Howard. And remember, Howard had an interception return for a touchdown against the Broncos in week 2.
And that is Thomas Howard's 5th interception of the year for a linebacker. That is a lot of interceptions. That's a career for a lot of linebackers. But you'll see right here, Jay Cutler, remember now, he really is a very young quarterback making only a 17 start. He makes a young quarterback mistake right there, locking in on a receiver. Javon Walker trying to force that ball in there. And Mike Shanahan did say to us yesterday, he said, Jay Cutler sometimes almost has too much confidence in himself and in his arm. And right there was a perfect example. Not a good decision, especially backed up in your own territory.
And Jay admitted that as well. He said, sometimes I'm just not patient enough and I will force it every now and then. So after the turnover, opportunity for the Raiders. McCown is back in there. Rolling out, and he'll throw it away. Pressure coming from Big Sam Adams. He was rumbling.
And that is not a person that you want anywhere in your vicinity if you're going down. If he comes down on top of you, it's not going to feel too good. That's a big man. Smart play by Josh McCown getting rid of that football.
He's listed at 6'3", 350.
And the key word is listed. He's listed at 350.
Might have been before Thanksgiving. So after the incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. The tight end is in motion. Right side. Fargas stopped for no gain. Justin Fargas, 84 yards in the first half.
John Engelberger, number 60, coming straight down the line, unblocked. Committed to the run. We've got an injured player on the field.
It's a Denver Broncos, so a timeout here in Oakland.
Right there in the circle coming up to make the play and just gets kind of caught up in the wash. Little head-to-head right there. He walked off the field, but I think might have got his bell wrong or maybe a little slight injury to his neck. Who knows? But
Broncos second leading tackle. What a catch by Porter. And he made the grab and was down at the 20.
Man, tremendous catch by Jerry Porter.
It will be short of a first down, but what a grab.
Left hand just squeezed that thing in, and a good hit coming up by Harnza Abdullah to make the hit, but a tremendous catch by Jerry Porter.
37-yard field goal attempt. Sebastian Janikowski. We'll call it 38. Into the wind. Puts that in. Perfect. So the Raiders extend their lead with 12:43 left in the third. It's 17-7 Oakland. Another interception. Janikowski will kick into the wind. And a fight for it among the 2 Broncos. Jacobs comes away with it. And he'll be stopped at the 15-yard line. Well, tonight on The Amazing Race, the teams are challenged beyond their Oakland points.
Jay Cutler needs to step up now and make some plays and get this rhythm back for his team. He's fortunate to be down only 17-7 at this point.
And they're going to run what appeared to be an option, which was well covered by Oakland. Picked up maybe a yard. Jay Richardson, the defensive end, the rookie out of Ohio State. 5th-round draft pick, was all over that.
Well, Mike Shanahan, he told us, you know, looking back at Jay Cutler's history, he did run the option at Vanderbilt when he was young, his freshman year. And so he's a good enough athlete to throw that in there and provide a twist. But the Raiders did exactly what you want to do. You see it coming, you take away the pitch and make Jay Cutler try and run the ball.
Selvin Young went off the field holding his wrist. Travis Henry left side. Spins. Brought down about the 18-yard line. Raiders have looked awfully sharp defensively.
have been a couple of drop balls today that have really hurt the Denver to make if the Broncos want to get back in this ball game.
3rd and 5 from the gun. They run the delay. Ball's on the ground. The Raiders have it. Well, now a scramble for it. Raider players signaling that they have the football. They had it initially, and it will be Oakland football. Another Denver turnover.
And not only another turnover, but another turnover deep in their own territory. The Raiders really have had the short field and all the opportunity to put this game away. You see the scramble for the ball, but boy, those Raiders are sure going after it, trying to find a way to dig it out of there. Travis Henry, Jay Cutler just had a mix-up on the exchange. 3 turnovers for the Denver Broncos, and you got to put the pressure on your defense again to try and hold them just to a field goal to keep it a 2-score game.
Travis Henry, Steve Rusty, after missing 3 games with that knee injury. That's very apparent. So an opportunity for the Raiders. McCown rolling out. Guns it. And well covered by the Broncos. That was Justin Griffith, the fullback. By the way, we're told that Ian Gold has a neck stinger, and his return is questionable.
Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd and 11 from the 13.
So now this is where great defenses step up and shut down the offense when they've got to hold them to a field goal. They get put in a bad position. The Denver Broncos need to step up right here defensively.
After the loss of 1, McCown steps up and will throw it. Touchdown! Porter was all alone in the end zone.
I'll tell you what, that is one heck of a play by Josh McCown. I was holding my breath up here. I thought nothing good could come from stopping and throwing it back across the field. But watch him come out of the pocket and wait till you see this hit from Ian Gold, number 52, right in the chin. Boom! And he delivers a strike back against his body to Jerry Porter. What a tremendous individual effort by Josh McCown on that play. And Travis Henry can only shake his head and say, man, we got to find a way to make some plays and get back in it.
So another costly turnover for the Broncos. 24-7, Oakland, 10:55 left in the 3rd. And there's the hit, but another outstanding play by Josh McCown, his 7th touchdown pass of the year to Jerry Porter, all alone in the end zone. "17 unanswered points, all off of Denver turnovers. Costly fumble, the 13-yard touchdown pass from McCown to Porter. Travis Henry will go back to work. Taken by Jacobs at the 6. And across the 25 to the 26-yard line, John Alston made the tackle, and the coach pretty fiery on the sidelines there. Giving him the business. Young Kiffin.
We're here today.
Fired up here in Oakland, this great rivalry between the Raiders and the Broncos. Denver from their own 26-yard line facing a 17-point deficit. Travis Henry lowers his shoulder. Now to the 29-yard line, and let's take a look at the last 4 possessions for Denver. This is not how you draw it up.
Look at that. 3 turnovers in the last 11 plays. Actually, that is not good. And all of these are starting at their own, inside their own 25-yard line. 2 plays, 5 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays. This is not what you do when you go into anybody's any hostile territory, especially when you're trailing, especially when a game means so much to an organization. Rob Ryan, he's got his troops playing hard right now. Mike Shanahan has to find a way to get his troops rallied to make a statement on this drive.
2nd and 7. Cutler up top, wide open. And the Broncos needed a big play. Brandon Stokely had 10 yards on that secondary.
It would have been nice if if Jay Cutler could have got that ball up a little bit earlier, but man, this reminds you of an old number 7 that used to play for the Broncos, John Elway. This is the kind of play that they used to kill people with, the hard boot action, roll out, and then have the strength to deliver that ball 50 to 60 yards up the field on the money. You see Stokely had to wait for it just a little bit. That allowed the Raiders to recover. Michael Huff hustling up the field to make the tackle.
That was good for 58 yards. Henry, left side, cuts it back to the 10. Derek Burgess made the tackle. So some life from the Broncos.
Some life, and boy, do they need it. And Jay Cutler, he told us in our meeting yesterday that one thing that they're really going to do when they get inside the red zone, they're not even hardly going to think about throwing it unless they have to. They're going to try and pound it. The Raiders have struggled against the run all year, especially in the red zone.
They have to get to the 3 for a first down. Travis Henry again, left side, down to the 6-yard line.
So when you project out, Bill, you're looking at 24-7. The Broncos need the quick score here in order to just try and find their way back into this ball game. And Mike Shanahan knows it. He says, hey, well, this is our opportunity right here to get ourselves back in the game. The Raiders think they're running away with it, but not so quick. We've got a lot to play for still here as Denver Broncos. And this is the drive to make that statement.
They spot it at the 7. 3rd and 3 for Denver. Trying to get back in this ball game. And we have flags and whistles.
Look like a little movement on the Broncos.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty.
Matt Lepsis, the left tackle.
And Bill, something that very uncharacteristic of a Mike Shanahan team coming into this game. The Broncos, you'll see Matt Lepsis, number 78, standing up right here on your screen. Moving a little bit early, but the Broncos coming into this game had already had the exact same number of penalties this year that they had for the whole season last year. So there's 5 games left, counting today. They're well beyond where they normally would be penalty-wise.
Among the least penalized teams in the NFL, Denver, since 2004. 4th fewest penalties over the last 3 seasons. Cutler able to get rid of it, but incomplete. Tremendous pressure for the Raiders.
Rob Ryan loves what he sees out of Derek Burgess, number 56, and the rest of his squad there, boy, coming in relentless. That was Chris Clemens coming off the edge, number 58, putting the pressure and the hit on Jay Cutler, and disappointing, settling for what should be an easy chip shot field goal for Jason Elam.
Chris Clemens, who leads the Raiders with 6 sacks. Field goal try of about 30 yards. He's been perfect inside of 40, and that one is good. 24-10 now Raiders. 7.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd. But that has to be disappointing for Denver after the big play to come away with only 3 points.
Extremely disappointing. That was a drive that Mike Shanahan wanted to come out with 7. Really, to just let the Raiders know they're not going anywhere. Ball gets blown over. That wind really is blowing harder than you can tell coming out of that end zone behind the Denver Broncos. And that's Mike Shanahan knows that's going to be a factor in the 4th quarter as well. That wind. He doesn't want to have to score 2 touchdowns coming back into the wind in the 4th quarter.
Sauerbrunn is set. Chris Carr is the deep man for the Oakland Raiders. And a knuckler fielded on 1 hop by Carr. Chris Carr, nice return out close to the 40-yard line. And now let's check in with JB in New York for an NFL update.
Bill and Steve, Tampa Bay Buccaneers keeping it rolling, looking for their 4th straight win. Ernest Graham helping them big time as much as he can. 25 yards to pay dirt, and the Buccaneers on top of New Orleans 20-14. 8 minutes left in the 3rd. Back to Bill and Steve.
All right, JB, thank you very much. Look at the standings in the NFC South. Tampa Bay in control at 7-4, coming into Week 13. First down for Oakland. Fargas lost the football. And there's a scramble for it, and the Raiders got it back. They'll unpile at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, you see Justin Fargas has the ball nice and clean. That elbow's down. In my opinion, I think he's already down. I don't know whether it'll be reviewed or not, but the Raiders did recover it anyway.
And we have another injured player down on the field.
Impression left by Jamarcus Russell for all those that got a chance to see it.
Fargas, big hole on the left side. Justin Fargas out of the 25-yard line.
And this is just way too easy. You're going to see a hole here off the left side behind Barry Sims and Robert Gallery. Just way too easy. John Lynch coming up to support on the outside. Look at that hole right there. I mean, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nobody there to even make Justin Fargas flinch. He's just going straight through it. You drive a Mack truck through that hole. And he says, I'll be happy to take this as far as I can take it.
That was good for 29 yards. So Fargas with a 116 yards on the day. Jordan cuts it back to the right side, down close to the 23-yard line. Well, vote for the 2008 Pro Bowl at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text PRO to 7777 via your Sprint service. Standard text rate supply.
From the 23.
Big day for Justin Fargas. Another big day, averaging almost 100 yards a game since he took over as the starter. 2nd and 7. McCown straight back up top. Incomplete. He had Miller, the tight end.
He had Zach Miller wide open, really, as far as the NFL, by NFL standards. DJ Williams, number 55, had the one-on-one coverage. Josh McCown made the right read. He knows that you just don't get guys that open in the NFL. But, man, that ball was thrown probably 10 yards too far, not even close.
That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 from the 23.
Look at that right there. Wow.
Spent a lot of time in Denver territory today.
They really have.
Tim Dwight has checked in for the Raiders. Signed November 4th. McCown trying to get a first down on his own, and he's popped. Big hit, a couple yards short. And again, it was Ian Gold, the Broncos' second leading tackler, who's been banged up today.
Yes, he has. Nate Webster, the other linebacker. Listen to this hit, though. This was supposed to be a shovel pass to Justin Fargas. Oh, wow. that hurts, man.
Sebastian Janikowski onto a
gutsy play
So
by
we'll
Josh
see.
McCown.
Steve will see Sebastian Janikowski once again to try a 35-yard field goal. On its way. And no good.
Wow.
And how about that?
You know what happens? You got Lane Kiffin knows it. You just can't take anything for granted. The wind blowing, you start thinking about it a little bit. Maybe Sebastian Janikowski alters his kick just a little bit to adjust for the wind. And as you know, an inch at impact over the course of 30, 35, 40 yards magnifies itself, and that ball never had a chance.
So that was into the swirling wind on that side of the field.
So can the Denver Broncos capitalize here on the opportunity?
The big run by Justin Fargas doesn't hurt them. Take over from their own 25-yard line. Cutler on the bootleg. Lots of time. Guns it to the sidelines, and that is caught Going to be a Denver first down. Brandon Stokely has had a big day. Broncos' second leading receiver with 36 catches coming in and a 14-yard average.
And this is just sheer confidence. Jay Cutler knowing that Brandon Stokely is going to make this catch. There is pretty darn good coverage right there. You got Huff sitting right there all over Brandon Stokely and ready to make the play, but Jay Cutler says, you know what, my guy is not going to let anything bad happen. I'm going to throw it to him, and a big positive play.
That was good for 33 yards. So from the 42-yard line of the Raiders, Cutler will throw again. Did he hang on? That was the tight end, Scheffler, and he did.
Wow, what a tremendous throw.
Another big hit, and Cutler is slow getting up.
The Denver Broncos are dropping like flies out here, unfortunately. Back for more.
From the 25-yard line, Travis Henry ducks back inside to the 20. Thomas Howard made the stop.
And just how strong is Jay Cutler's arm?
Well, that was the line that Rob Ryan gave us. You know, he got a lot of confidence. He'll try to throw a strawberry through a battleship. He said that's the thing, you know, with a young quarterback, we know that he's going to make 2 or 3 bad decisions during a game, and we have to be ready to capitalize on those.
And they have today so far. The one interception deep in their own territory converted into a touchdown.
Scheffler is back in there. Cutler checks it down. That's Cecil Sapp, the fullback, able to finally bring it in. Gets it down to about the 18-yard line. They'll bring up third down. Now the Raiders have been tough defensively so far. They'll try to do it again on 3rd and 3. Cutler straight back. And finally runs out of time. Jay Richardson got a hand on him. Richardson brings him down for his first sack of the season.
Jay Richardson, the rookie this year, just keeps on fighting against a good veteran left tackle, Matt Lepsis. Just carried Matt Lepsis all the way back into the backfield, and I think Jay Cutler felt that since he couldn't see much of Jay Williams' jersey, that he was sealed off. Jay Williams reaches right over the top and just grabs him and takes him down.
44-yard field goal try. Perfect.
Jay Richardson, I mean, I'm sorry about that.
Broncos have to settle for 3, but that narrows the gap to 24-13 with 1:37 remaining in the third. Once again, let's check in with JB in New York for an update.
Bill and 17 Raider points, 3 Denver Bronco turnovers.
Broncos whittling away at that Oakland lead. Now 24-13. Sauerbrunn gets ready to kick it off. Mike Shanahan going to the playbook.
Mike Shanahan knows that field goals are not going to do it. That's just not going to get it done. You get down in that red zone, you need 7.
That's with the win, but it's fielded at the 3 by Carr. Chris Carr. Another nice return out to the 32-yard line. Jamie Winborn made the stop. Well, next Sunday, it's doubleheader time on CBS.
It's going to be interesting to see whether Mr. Favre can bounce back with the 10 days off with the injury to his right arm and his left shoulder.
But Aaron Rodgers played well in relief.
Got to make Green Bay feel good about that.
Vargas trying to cut it back, and he'll lose a yard or 2. It's been a good day if you play fantasy football and you have Justin Fargas, who's already got 116 yards. Daniel Tomlinson had a big day, a couple of scores, 177 against the Chiefs. Adrian Peterson is back. He scored 2 times, 116 yards on the day for the rookie. So a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for Oakland. We're in the end of the 3rd quarter. Fargas. And he'll pick up 3 to the 34-yard line.
This has been a very gutsy performance by Josh McCown. You know, you look at him, his hand is obviously still bothering him between plays, and on the sideline, he's he's trying to find ways to relieve the pain. And that dislocation, it was a compound dislocation, so it was, you can imagine the pain. That was just this past Wednesday. So very gutsy to get out there and fight through that.
Broke through the skin and took 6 stitches, we're told, to close. Not to just toss the football. There's a fumble, and the Broncos have it.
And that's one of the other problems with the hand injury. That I'm sure was a big contributor to that fumble right there. He never got the ball.
DJ Williams recovered it for Denver.
And let's see if he ever gets control of that ball. You can see he does not have the ball in his hand and has no idea where it is. And believe me, that is the worst feeling in the world as a quarterback, when you know you don't have that ball. You're the only one that knows it right away. And you sure don't want to tell the world, but man, they figure it out pretty quickly. And what a huge turnover for the Denver Broncos. This is first turnover of the day by the Raiders.
Final play of the third quarter from the 35-yard line. Cutler under pressure and brought down. Picked up a couple of yards on the scramble before Derek Burgess brought him down. So that's the end of the third quarter. The Raiders still lead, but the Broncos trying to bring it back. (24-13) Raiders as we start the final quarter. Broncos are threatening, and Raiders were in there in a hurry, so we'll sort out the penalty.
Offside. Defense, number 58, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Chris Clements trying to get a jump on things, and turnovers late in ball games have been a problem for the Oakland Raiders.
And look at that right there. They're +5 in the first half, -11 in the second half. Those numbers do include the numbers today. And that last turnover by Josh McCown on the center quarterback exchange right at the end of the third quarter. Definitely, if you're involved in close games, and the Raiders have been all year, -11 in the turnover ratio is going to kill you.
2nd and 3 after the penalty. Travis Henry. His forward progress will get him close to the 25, but just short of a first down. Kurt Morrison was up in a hurry, the middle linebacker who grew up here in Oakland. Played at Bishop O'Dowd High School. Was a Bay Area Player of the Year back in 1999. So a big third down for the Raider defense. Third and 1. Cutler on the sneak, and he's got it. Now they say that NFL quarterbacks, Steve, you would know this, earn their money on third down, and that's where Cutler has really been effective. He was off a little against the Bears, and obviously that was a running play, but Cutler has a third down quarterback rating of 112. That's 4th in the league.
That is very impressive, especially for a young quarterback, because third down is the most complex defensive schemes that you're going to see as well. The nickel and dime packages, that means he's making good decisions.
So a fresh set of downs for Denver. They give it to the up back. That's Cecil Sapp. And he bangs his way inside the 25, close to the 23-yard line. Just barely getting it back to the line of scrimmage. And once again, here's our man JB in New York with an update.
Hey, Bill and Steve, take a look at this alert play by Braylon Edwards here. Derek Anderson going back to pass, double move by Braylon Edwards, smartly feeling he was not touched, got up, kept going. Other guys, hey, what is he doing? He's taking it to pay dirt. 2-point conversion is good. 21-18 Arizona. Back to Bill and Steve.
Braylon Edwards has had a great season. One of the reasons that Derek Anderson has done so well. Henry, is that a catch?
No.
Well, the preliminary signal is it's a catch and a fumble.
It's got to be an incomplete pass.
The ruling is an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
And they correct that in a hurry.
Third down.
He never had control of the ball, really. Very well played by Michael Huff, the safety. He's right there in front of Travis Henry, right as the ball gets there. Travis Henry had no idea that he was going to get that hit right as soon as the ball got to him. Definitely the right call. Travis Henry never had control of that football, therefore no fumble.
Rob Ryan told us that Michael Huff did a great job last week against Tony Gonzalez, so the game's really starting to slow down for him. So 3rd and 10, Stokely in motion at the top of your screen in the slot. Cutler steps up, guns it. And he will have a first down by a yard.
Tremendous throw by Jay Cutler. I don't know how it got in there, to be honest with you. Brandon Stokely made the catch, but Stanford route, you're going to see number 26 coming in. He has a chance to bat this ball down right there, but he missed it. And I'll tell you, this is a game of inches. You're going to see perfect opportunity. Look at this right here. He is right there to get that ball, just missed it. And what unbelievable concentration by Brandon Stokely to look that ball in and convert a huge 3rd down.
And the Strawberry gets through the battleship. Henry.
The Strawberry gets through the battleship. I love that.
Travis Henry, the ball carrier.
Well, all of it is for naught if the Broncos do not score a touchdown on this drive.
Warren Sapp made the tackle at the initial contact. We've seen a lot of Travis Henry today, and probably more than Travis Henry thought. More work than he thought he was going to get. Selvin Young has been banged up a couple of times. Left the game, so it's been mostly Travis Henry.
And Bill, you have to give credit to the Oakland Raiders rush defense. Look at this today against a great
yards.
Denver rushing football team, 74 yards. And Rob
Play
Ryan.
clock was stopped for the injured player. Number 24 must stay out for 1 play.
Rob Ryan was very adamant about the fact that he believes his team has been playing much better run defense than the stats indicate. They've said to a man that the big plays in the running game have hurt them. On a down-in, down-out basis, they've been playing good run defense, and today he's backed it up.
Raiders had given up 8 100-yard games this season. Could be a free play. There's a flag. Complete to Brandon Marshall down inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, the Raiders were a little bit early jumping the ball again, jumping the snap. I don't think they were provoked or...
Offside, defense, number 56. Penalty is declined. We're going to measure for the first down.
Call it on Derek Burgess. Those kinds of physical gifts, and they've got a first down, 1st and goal for Denver.
And I was expecting when we asked Brandon Marshall who his favorite receiver, I thought it'd be one of those guys, but he came back and said it was Anquan Bolden from the Arizona Cardinals because of his physical, passionate play, the way he blocks down the field, the way he catches the ball and runs, and his overall aggressive mentality. That's a guy that he really looks up to and respects.
So 1st and goal for Denver. Broncos trying to bring it back, the jumbo package. Travis Henry, touchdown.
Easy. That was the path of no resistance that the Broncos took right there.
His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Well, there's no doubt where they're going. They motion in the tight end right behind the right guard, and Travis Henry just takes that ball, goes straight ahead, and there was, you couldn't even see a black jersey even making an attempt to stop him.
3-yard touchdown run. Travis Henry back after 3 weeks away with a knee injury. Extra point is good, and it's a 4-point game with 11:21 left to play. Back with more. We've got a tight one here in Oakland.
The thought with Mike Shanahan's nature that you go for 2 there and try and make it a field goal game.
Short kick into the wind. Carr swarmed under at the 28-yard line. 11:15 left to play. Raiders will go back to work. 11:15 left with a 4-point advantage. That comfortable lead has evaporated. Broncos showing blitz. They don't come. McCown gets rid of it to his tight end. And the rookie is into Denver territory. Brought down at the 45-yard line by Nate Webster. Zach Miller out of Arizona State, the second-round draft pick who already has a touchdown today.
Well, that was a super play, but a very dangerous throw by Josh McCown, especially in this situation. You can see pretty darn good coverage right there by Nate Webster underneath. And Josh McCown was kind of throwing off his back foot, but man, did he drop it in there nicely. I was a little surprised he took a shot at that play backed up in his own 30-yard line there.
That was good for 26 yards. 1st and 10. McCown on the boot, guns it. What a catch.
Oh, wow.
And again, it's the rookie. And once again, let's check in with JB in New York. All right, JB, that's a good one. We've got a good one here. That was a pickup of 19 yards. Miller hauling it in from the 26-yard line now. McCown lofts it to the end zone. In traffic and incomplete. He was lucky that that wasn't picked off.
He definitely was. Now, I am impressed, though, with Lane Kiffin and his mentality here coming out to make a statement on this drive. 2 big throws right away, trusting his quarterback to make the right decision, and then on the 3rd play, trying to go for it all right there. A questionable, shaky decision, I think, by McCown to throw it into that coverage. But good aggressive play call by Lane Kiffin saying, I am not afraid to come up and challenge these guys.
Ronald Curry was well covered. Fargas tripped up close to the line of scrimmage. Well, coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway post-game show. Join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway post-game show. We're listening to the fellas today. They always do such a great job. High energy, way to get yourself ready for the day around the National Football League. 3rd and long now for the Oakland Raiders. Just over 9 minutes remaining. 24-20 Oakland. McCown on the screen. Oh, and are they going to rule that a catch? No. Incomplete. Fargas couldn't quite bring it in from his shoe tops.
And you talk about a missed opportunity here. This you're going to see. Watch what happens when Justin Fargas, if he catches this, you're going to see nothing but green grass in front of him down the left side with Robert Gallery, his left tackler from him. Look at that right there. If he catches that, he's running down the sideline behind Robert Gallery, and the Denver Broncos know they got away with one right there.
This is an important field goal try. It'll make it a 7-point game. Janikowski just inside the uprights. A 44-yard field goal. It's 27-20 now. Raiders. Janikowski's kick with the wind, 5 yards deep in the end zone. Taylor Jacobs takes the knee. They'll bring it out to the 20, and let's show you what has transpired so far. And are back in this football game. Big drive upcoming for Denver. Cutler stands in. And is it picked off? Intercepted. Fabian Washington.
You know, Bill, when you look at the film on Jay Cutler, he does sometimes hesitate. He kind of puts his weight back on his back foot and doesn't really deliver the ball consistently with his feet in the right position. And that right there, let's see. Oh, I don't know. We're going to probably get a challenge out of Mike Shanahan here, I would bet you, to see whether or not that ball hit the ground or not, because they just cannot have. There's his flag. It's down.
Yeah, the Raiders tried to snap it in a hurry.
Yep.
Shanahan got the flag out, and they'll review this.
But every once in a while, Jay Cutler does throw a pass off his back foot, just kind of slinging it with his arm, and that one right there,
Denver
classic example.
The ruling on the field of an interception.
I'll tell you, Fabian Washington had terrific coverage on that play. Was he able to bring it in? It's awfully close.
He's got to throw it up high to make sure that Marshall catches it and nobody does.
Gene Steratore ready
After
with the
review,
call.
the ruling on the field stands. It is an interception. The first down, Oakland.
Not enough evidence to overturn the call.
Yeah, just not. Jay Cutler, you can be upset. Mike Shanahan, you'd be upset. But, you know, if it had been called an incomplete pass, it would have been ruled an incomplete pass. The bottom line is there was not enough. And this is as good an angle as you're ever going to get. I mean, this shows everything, but the position of the arms and the ball, there's no way you can tell.
So the Raiders will try to take some time off the clock with a 7-point lead. Fargas.
And Bill, you can't hide the fact, no matter how you slice it, it was a bad decision, a bad throw and a bad decision, and the Raiders were there to capitalize again.
No gain, second and 10.
Cutler said sometimes he gets a little too excited back there. He needs to be more patient, learn to check the ball down more often if he can't find anyone open downfield.
Now his numbers, what he's done so early in his career, speak for themselves. I think this kid's a tremendous young quarterback, but you know he's gonna have to learn when to take those chances and when not to.
Fargas on 2nd and 10, dragged down from behind by John Engelberger, the left defensive end. Fargas has been a workhorse today. 25 carries, 120 yards.
That's his 4th 100-yard game of the year. And who would have thought coming into this year that he would be the workhorse that he's become? And you can just see this Raider team growing in their confidence each week.
He's averaging just about 100 yards a game since he took over as the starter. McCown flushed from the pocket. Gets rid of it, incomplete. Kenny Peterson, the 5th-year man out of Ohio State, was in pursuit, and we have a flag down on the opposite side of the field.
I think you might get some kind of illegal contact from Dominique Foxworth, up number 22 for the Broncos. There was a little collision, little contact with Jerry Porter up the field. The question is whether it was done while Josh McCown was in the pocket or out of the pocket.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal contact, number 41 of the defense. The penalty is declined. Also illegal contact, number 22 of the defense. That penalty is accepted. 5 yards, automatic first down.
Carl Pema and Champ Bailey. So a couple of options for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to be, you're going to see number 22 in the top right of your screen, Dominique Foxworth. Up the field is Jerry Porter, and he are wrestling there a little bit. That's well beyond 5 yards, which is what the rule states. And then coming out of the break, Jerry Porter was tangled up. He went down.
So a first down for Oakland. Just under 7.5 minutes remaining. And they're going to throw. And McCown was hit just as he got rid of the ball by John Lynch coming on the safety blitz.
John Lynch timed that perfectly. The 15-year veteran. You're going to see him just shoot the gap right through here. Nobody assigned to pick him up, right in the chest. And people, believe me, that hurts. The quarterback's got all of his momentum going one way, and that impact, that speed coming the other way. John Lynch is fired up.
Tim Dwight has checked in for the Raiders on 2nd and 10. Fargas cuts it back. A nifty little run for Justin Fargas. Carl Pema, the nickelback, made the stop.
And another good, strong run off the left side of this Oakland Raiders offensive line. That's where they've had most of their bread and butter all day. They found something over there, and they're now definitely within field goal range for Sebastian Janikowski, which at this point would give them a 10-point lead. That would be huge.
A little bit of a cushion.
For the Oakland Raiders.
Big play here on 3rd and 1. Fargas, left side, down to the 20. First down Raiders. But we have a penalty in the initial call is holding against the Raiders.
Yeah, that's a big penalty too.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Robert Gallery, the left guard. You're going to see right here. Let's see what he does as they come off the line. He's trying to stretch and get width, but he gets his paws out there and really does not allow Elvis Dumervil to get off on the play. As far as overall holding calls are concerned, that was not a flagrant, blatant one, but definitely Dumervil had the leverage to make the play, and Gallery would not let him get off on the block.
Justin Griffith, the fullback, is alone in the backfield. Third down. They give it to Griffith on the screen. Great second effort. And Griffith has a first down. And congratulations from his quarterback.
Josh McCown has had a heck of a day, but look at this, another very, very well executed screen pass. You got plenty of people out there in front. Cooper Carlisle, number 66, and Gallery getting in there. Jeremy Newberry, and Josh McCown says, way to go, big boys. Way to get out there and make it happen. That was a huge third down conversion for the Oakland Raiders.
They pick up 13 yards on 3rd and 11. And the clock continues to run before Oakland stops it with their first timeout.
A 30-second timeout.
It'll be a short one, 5:31 left to play. Josh McCown has had an outstanding game. You think of what the Raiders have accomplished here. If they hang on to win it, they will have gotten Jamarcus Russell in the game. They expected to have Dante Culpepper, but he was injured in practice this week. Josh McCown has been very banged up, but he has played a terrific ball game. 141 yards, 3 touchdowns passing.
There's Sebastian Janikowski. He's had 2 good ones and 2 bad ones. This was his last attempt from 35. Just got caught in the wind a little bit.
And then he had the one that just went inside the uprights. So 1st and 10. Raiders are threatening. Fargas. The Raiders going to the power running game. That's been the signature of this team. John Lynch made the stop.
And if you ask Justin Fargas, he's a power slasher. That's his run style. He's a slashing power guy. And he does not mess around. He makes a decision and he goes. You don't see a lot of tip-tapping going through that line. He just makes one cut and accelerates through it. Very impressive.
2nd and 3, under 5 minutes remaining. 7-point Oakland lead. Fargas right side. Driven back. DJ Williams and Nate Webster combined to make the stop.
And that is a full commitment to the run. The Denver Broncos had 9 players up inside the tackle box, or inside the tight end box, I should say. One-on-one coverage on the outside with Champ Bailey and Dre Bly, but they said there's no way they're going to let Fargas make any yards on that play. And you can see the rush yards today. The Raiders up at 150.
Fargas has 137 of those. Play clock winding down. They get it off. Jordan. No, McCown. And how about that running for the quarterback? Nick Ferguson saved a touchdown.
You know, Josh McCown coming into this game had rushed for 99 yards on 19 carries. He is a very good running quarterback. When he gets out on the edge, he gives Lane Kiffin the flexibility to call plays like that. That was not a designed bootleg pass option. That was a designed bootleg run-only option for Josh McCown, and he executed it very well.
He signaled the 1st and goal. He said, that's how We did it at Sam Houston State. First and goal for the Raiders. Fargas brought down at the 5. Jay Williams, a middle linebacker, made the tackle, and we've got a timeout on the field.
Second charge timeout. Denver, a 30-second timeout.
Well, the only thing that really can help
With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 8 seconds. 3:08.
Add a couple seconds onto the clock. Well, it has been a while since these Oakland Raiders have beaten the Denver Broncos. Elam field goal with 31 seconds left to preserve the 25-24 win.
Well, the only thing that can help Denver right now is a turnover. They've got to find a way to get the ball coughed up.
Second and goal. Fargas. Justin Fargas, touchdown. And he did it behind a great block by Orrin O'Neal.
It was a great block, and here you go, coming right at you to the right side. A super job by the O-line. There's Orrin O'Neal blocking out, but a great job by the O-line getting up and establishing a lane for Justin Fargas to cakewalk it into the end zone.
Third touchdown of the year for Justin Fargas. Janikowski's extra point is good, and it's a 2-touchdown game with 3:04 left to play. 142 yards. Fargas, because he had to take a year. He was ineligible, and he started as a senior for USC.
And the Raiders now have a chance for the second week in a row to slay one of their arch enemies. Last week it was Kansas City. They hadn't beaten Kansas City in 9 tries, and today, as you established, Bill, they got a chance to end the dominance by the Broncos.
Trying to end a 5-game losing streak. Taken by Sapp, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line. Chris Johnson tonight, 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except for those of you on the West Coast. First down, one behind Walker, incomplete.
Jay Cutler looking down at the ground. I think he lost his footing there a little bit on that throw. Not a great pass. The 4 Bronco turnovers, the story today, though, Bill. It's no secret. The turnover battle is always a big determinant who wins these ball games.
Raiders on the verge of winning 2 straight. Cutler on the slant. Marshall lunges forward to the 39-yard line. Brandon Marshall. Well, we talked to Lane Kiffin, and he said he learned a lot during that 6-game Raider losing streak about his players, who he'd like to build a team around. They're on 3rd down, incomplete, but obviously 4-down territory for the Denver Broncos, and Cutler is frustrated. Lane Kiffin said he also learned a lot, Steve, about himself.
He did.
How he'd respond to that kind of adversity after coming over from the winning program at Southern California.
Well, Lane Kiffin is 32 years young, but he's done a tremendous job already making his imprint on this organization. And his team, he said he found out a lot about how these guys deal with adversity. So going forward next year when they make their plans, that'll come into his thinking. And also, how do you keep a team up fighting through an adverse situation like this? 6-game losing streak, that's very difficult.
On their feet, 4th and 2.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
And it'll be 4th and 7.
Down.
And that has Mike Shanahan shaking his head. He's had a nice record against the Raiders, a team he coached when they were the Los Angeles Raiders for a season and 4 games. But against the Raiders has a record coming into this one of 20-5.
And he hates to lose to anybody, but he really hates to lose to the Raiders.
So 4th and 7. Last gasp for the Broncos. Cutler to the sideline. No. He was out of bounds. Stokely laid out for it, but couldn't come down inbounds.
I think Stokely caught the ball, but I think the ball took him out of bounds. And yet, obviously, Jake Cutler very upset, very frustrated more than anything. But there's no doubt that ball hit the ground first, and it was out of bounds. Look at the frustration. That, you got to admire the competitiveness and the intensity that Jay Cutler brings. That's going to pay off for him down the road. His teammates see it. They know what it means to him to win and lose these ball games.
So it will go over on downs. Fargas, who has had an enormous day, adds 4 more down to the 30-yard line.
Well, Bill, I'll tell you, aside from Fargas, you got to really tip your hat to Josh McCown. And he has played a tough, gutsy ball game, taken a lot of hits, done a super job leading this ball club.
Might be the best game of the year for the Raiders. 34-20. So 2nd down for the Raiders. Fargas battles down inside the 30-yard line. It's been a good couple of weeks for these Oakland Raiders. Last week, they snapped that embarrassing streak of 17 straight divisional losses when they won at Kansas City. And this will be the first time they've beaten the Broncos here in Oakland since 2002.
And you're right, Bill. It is embarrassing. That is embarrassing for every player in the silver and black. Now they can say that monkey's off their back. And 2 in a row, boy, it makes them feel good about themselves.
3rd and 5. Fargas tripped up. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. So the clock will stop with 1:09 remaining.
Well,
Third and final charge, timeout Denver. A 30-second timeout. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 11 seconds. 1:11.
Broncos have allowed a lot of points. Only Cleveland has allowed more.
Big part of it, and you can't get over the fact that that is really what has determined the course of this game.
4th and 6. McCown will keep it. Cuts back inside and diving forward. Close to a first down. It will depend on the spot.
Looks like he's a little bit short. A little bit short.
By the way, the 34 points is the 2nd best production for the Raiders this year. They scored 35 against the Dolphins.
Lane Kiffin has got to really feel good about what has happened, what has transpired over the course of this season. His players, I think, are really starting to buy into what it is that he's selling. And I think that the Raiders really do have a lot to be excited about as far as the future holds.
It will go over on downs. Lane Kiffin told us what he is most pleased about is they have been in almost every ball game this year. And that means the players haven't quit on anybody.
And 2 weeks in a row, they've been able to close it out when they've had the lead.
Incomplete. Tried to check it down to Travis Henry. Well, it's got a little bit tougher now for Denver. They'll drop to 5 and 7. San Diego winning today, so 2 games behind the Chargers. That had to be so frustrating for Mike and the Broncos. Last week they did everything except win the ball game against the Bears. That would have been a 3rd straight win.
And they did come into this game as Brandon Marshall makes a short catch here and takes a big shot. But they did come in feeling this game was a must-win, and he said that they really felt they had to run the table. Now, I believe that 9 and 7, they still will have an outside shot at it because they do play the Chargers in Week 16. And that's a game that if they do find a way to get to that point with only 7 losses, they technically will have a shot. But, boy, this one hurts.
the delay. Travis Henry out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Kurt Morrison made the tackle. Can't stop the clock. 34-20. And we'll spike the ball, and let's take a look at what is ahead for the Broncos.
This game, that's a game that they really had penciled in as a game they had to win.
Incomplete. Asamoah broke it up.
That might be the first ball we've seen thrown his way all day.
22 for the year.
22 now on the season. right at his average.
3 seconds remaining. When we talked to Jay Cutler yesterday, and we said, well, are you going to challenge him at all? He goes, no.
No.
There was no him and or high, and he said, no, he's too good.
We're going the other guy.
We'll go the other side of the field.
And
that is an inglorious way to end it.
Difficult concession for Mike Shanahan.
They break the losing streak to the Broncos at 5 games. 34-20. The Raiders have won 2 straight. So that will do it for us. For Steve Beurlein, Bill McAtee saying so long from Oakland, where our final score, the Raiders 34, the Broncos 20. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, followed by a new Amazing Race and Hallmark Hall of Fame's Pictures of Hollis Woods. Thanks for being with us. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
It's Denver and Oakland.
The pink elephants are your responsibility. Dante Culpepper out after reportedly racing a teammate in practice. He may be racing him to the unemployment office after what Josh McCown and Jamarcus Russell did against Denver. McCown to Tim Dwight. It's 7-zip Raiders. Lane Kiffin got his driver's license this week. He's excited. Travis Henry tied it up for Denver at 7 in the first. But here it is, the moment you've been waiting for, and you may see a lot of this before this season is over. The debut of Jamarcus Russell. What would the first pass be like? It would be like a bullet. To Jerry Porter for 16 yards. He'd stand for 7 tosses, complete 4 of them, and get 56 yards. McCown came back in to Porter, who had squatters' rights there. 24-7 Raiders. Denver to get back within 7, but Cutler during the last drive at 27-20. Oops. Intercepted by Fabian Washington. Fabian making a hit record there. And Huggy Bear is for real. Justin Fargas, Huggy Bear Jr., 10 plays, 43-yard drive, capped by that little jump. 34-20. He had 146 yards rushing. This is only Oakland's 6th win against Mike Shanahan in the 26 games they faced him since they fired him in L.A. in 1989.
Which brings us to Tampa Bay at New Orleans.
Yeah, 2-banger. Denver and Oakland. Josh McCown getting the start. Travis Henry soaking in the experience because rumor has it he will be suspended for the season. Look who made it. Look who made it.
It's about time. It is not like they playing for the Super Bowl.
Jamarcus Russell.
Let him do that.
He played 2 series coming in for Josh McCown.
Play him at home, Rich. Play him at home. No crowd noise.
That was his first play in the NFL.
Against Champ Bailey, your first pass.
Here's his 4th pass in the NFL, or his 4th play in the NFL.
Huggy Bear.
Son of Huggy Bear. Justin Fargas.
Get him started with a little completion.
And now this is his 7th play in the NFL.
Oh, geez. Pick it up.
So the Raiders would at least LSU's in the BCS championship game, right?
All right, get your feet wet.
Russell did get his feet wet to the tune of 4 of 756 yards. Josh McCown comes back in the game after a Travis Henry fumble, and McCown finds Zach Miller, 5 plays, 35 yards. Raiders up at the half, 14-7. Third quarter we go. After a Jay Cutler pick, McCown finds Porter for a circus kick.
Nice little hot throw with a great catch.
Nice. That's the way to read the blitz and get the ball out of there.
That would lead to a Seabass field goal, 17-7, and the turnover parade would continue for the Broncos. 3rd turnover thus far in the game as Cutler and Henry can't exchange it. Raider Chris Clemens recovers in the Denver 13, and then 2 plays later, it is McCown to Porter again.
This guy's got good mobility. He extends the play, stays alive as a passer, and finds the open receiver in the end zone.
And he takes the hit as well.
Good. Take it. Mannings aren't the only brother combination starting today.
Raiders are up 24-7. It's 24-13 when McCown fumbles the ball. DJ Williams recovers. Now the Broncos have some momentum because 9 plays later, 1st and goal, it's Travis Henry. And suddenly it's a 4-point game. Once 24-7, it's now 24-7. to 20, 27-20 later in the fourth. Cutler trying to lead Denver down the field again. This
great coverage.
is
that
a
is great
kickoff.
coverage. Started out off the jam. Great bump and run.
Picked by Fabian Washington, which leads to another great run by Justin Fargas. 33 rushes for 146 and a touchdown. For the Sun O Huggy Bear, and the Oakland Raiders win back-to-back divisional games for the first time since the 2002 Super Bowl season. This after losing 17 consecutive games in the division. Denver has lost 2 in a row since that big Monday night win against the Tennessee Titans to fall to 5-7. Here's Jamarcus, his first post-game interview.
It was great. My first time out there, I try to tell myself, just relax. The same thing you do each and every day at practice, and that's exactly what it felt like.
But you weren't nervous at all?
Not at all. Guys tell me it's just football. Don't do nothing crazy. Just continue to do the things you do at practice. Everything will be fine for you.
Might we see you next week against Indianapolis?
Who knows? Whoever we play, it's the coach's decision. Whatever he goes with, I'm with that. But other than that, we continue to be the biggest cheerleader on the team.
Now, I hate to say this because Jamarcus is 8 feet tall, but there is no truth to the rumor that in Alameda County, a Benetton store exploded. There is no truth to that rumor.
Coach, what you think about that?
He's just kicking a coogie. and I like that. You like the sweater? I like it. I've got a few of those at home.
He's
kicking a coogie.
You set him up with that.
No, that was him.
Hey, get with it, Rich. Get with it.
Yeah.
Coach, give me some.